Today, in the chapter Rise of Nationalism in Europe, I am going to discuss the topic what was the aim of revolutionaries. The aim of revolutionaries was to liberate the people from despotism. To liberate the people of Europe from despotism. Now question arises, what do you mean by despotism? Despotism is nothing but it is absolutism, which I have talked to you in the previous video. Despotism rule or absolute rule is what? It is oppressive in nature, it is centralized, it is militarized. So despotic rule refers to militarism, oppression and centralization. So their aim was to liberate the Europe from despotism and to help other people of Europe to become nation. So this was the aim of revolutionaries. Now let us understand that in which countries the French armies marched to liberate them from despotism. By 1790s, the French armies marched into Holland, Belgium, Switzerland and many parts of Italy. And in these areas, they liberated the people from despotism. Now, let us understand that what administrative changes were introduced by Napoleon in those areas where the French armies liberated the people from despotism. The topic is, what changes did Napoleon introduce to make the administrative system more efficient in the territories ruled by him? Now let us understand the aim of these changes. To make the whole system more rational and efficient. To make the administrative system efficient so that it will be easy to rule the people, it will be easy to administer the people. So let us understand that what steps were taken to make the whole system rational and efficient. The first point we have to understand that Napoleon introduced a civil code in the year 1804, and that civil code was known as Napoleonic Code. So this Napoleonic Code brought many administrative reforms in the areas ruled by the Napoleon. So let us understand what are those reforms. The first is, all privileges based on birth were abolished and equality before law was accepted. Means now the merit criteria was introduced. Any post can be given to that person, one will have the merit. It will be not on the basis of birth. It means that a priest's son cannot become a priest until unless it has the merit of becoming the priest. And equality before the law means everyone will be equal, irrespective of the higher authorities or the lower authorities or the local people, you can say. So equality before law, equal protection of law, and merit criteria. So these are the reforms introduced by Napoleon. The second is the recognition of right to property. Means right to property was recognized. Now you can invest your money in whatever directions you want. How can you earn profit? It will depend upon you now. So right of property was recognized. Means everyone can hold property. Which another reform was in Dutch Republic, that is today's Netherlands, Switzerland, Italy and Germany, what Napoleon did. In these areas, he simplified administrative divisions. The whole country was divided into different administrative divisions. And these divisions were very small in area. Why? Because easy to administer. So, simplified administrative divisions, abolished the feudal system, means the landlord system, and freed peasants from serfdom and manorial dues, which I have talked about the serfdom, that they were tied to the land. They had to pay the manorial dues also. So all these things were abolished by Napoleon so that the freedom could be given to the peasants. They can change their own master. They can earn money in whatever the person they will go. So all these things were introduced by Napoleon. Guild restrictions were removed in the towns. Now you will ask me, what is guild? Guild is nothing but it is a group of artisans or traders. Many restrictions were imposed on them, on traders and artisans in the movement of goods. So now those restrictions which were imposed on guild, that was removed. Improvement of transport and communication. Naturally, until unless you will not improve transport and communication, the trade will not boost up. And once the trade will not be there, then there will be no exchange of goods from one place to another. So transportation system is must. So that was being improved by Napoleon. Freedom to peasants, artisans, workers and new businessmen in their own spheres. That I talked about here, about the guild restriction. Now total freedom is given to them. That they can move from one place to another. They can exchange their goods and services. So no restrictions will be there. And this was possible through a standardization of weights and measures. Means weights and measures were common now in every area, and common currency was introduced for easy exchange. So these two things were introduced by Napoleon: standardization of weights and measures and introduction of common currency to facilitate the movement and exchange of goods and capital from one region to another region. So transport system was developed, weights and measures were standardized, common currency was introduced. So all these things facilitated the movement of goods from one place to another. Now let us understand that what was the reaction of the people of the Napoleonic rule. So you will be very much surprised to know that in the beginning, the Napoleonic rule was what happened that in many countries that they were welcomed as harbingers of liberty. What are those countries where they were welcomed? That was Holland, Switzerland, Brussels, Mainz, Milan, Warsaw. In these countries what happened? They were welcomed as harbingers of liberty. Means in these areas despotism was abolished The administrative system was efficient and simplified. So because of that, the people welcomed them. People regarded them. So reaction was that they were considered as harbinger of liberty. So that because the France removed despotism from that area. But this enthusiasm was turned into hostility. Now question arises, why hostility arose? Once you welcome a person and then you are becoming hostile. Why? So because of the three reasons. What are those reasons? They are increased taxation. Means more taxes were imposed by Napoleon. So people had to pay more tax. Naturally, resentment was there. Second was the censorship. Means curb on press. The press had no freedom to express the real picture of that area. So censorship was imposed, that is press on curb. And because of that, another third was that the reason was forced conscription. What is the forced conscription? Forced conscription is nothing but that everyone has to serve in the army. This was the compulsory, and because of that the people resented. So these are the three reasons. Because of this the people became hostile to the French armies. They are increased taxation, second is the censorship, and third is the forced conscription. So we can say that in simple terms, the reaction of the local population to French rule was mixed one. Mixed reaction was there. Now, the historians, what they say, that Napoleon was the child of the revolution and Napoleon was the destroyer of revolution. In the next video, I will talk of another topic. Thanks.